Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go over my little thing at the beginning. I'm so excited that you all are here. So, welcome to Saturday morning medical Qigong practice. My name is Mary Frances. I am one of Henry Junwali's medical Qigong students. And today, it being Saturday, we get a lot of fun things today. We have the Rejuvenation series that we've been working on the weekends, 1 through 5. And then we're going to go over the first part of number 6, which is Swimming Dragon. And it's wonderful. The first part is relatively straightforward. The third part is relatively straightforward. The middle part is where it gets a little more intricate. So today, as we introduce Swimming Dragon, it's going to be pretty straightforward. And then after Swimming Dragon, we're going to go into those fall seasonal exercises. We're in the second series of that. And just as a side note, it's very exciting. Henry's going to be teaching our the fall series part 3, this coming Wednesday evening. And there'll be more information on that as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our warm-ups. We're going to open up. Feet are hip width, shoulder width apart. Settling into the space. Allowing the feet to melt into the earth. Softening the knees. Relaxing the low back. Relaxing the shoulders. Tip of the tongue is touching the roof of the mouth. And the very top of the head is reaching up into the sky. From here, the hands are going to gently come into loose fists. And we're going to start swaying from side to side. Depending on how your low back and hips and knees and shoulders are feeling, you may want to go a little more subtly with the movement. Remember, it's the mind intent. That's the mind, intent, and the breath are the major 2 elements of the 3-part mind, intent, breath, mind, intent, and the physical exercise. Along with that, go ahead and relax into the breath, letting the breath come deep into the body. And gradually, we're allowing that lead arm to travel up the torso towards the opposing shoulder. And then allowing that lead arm to come back down. Releasing the hands, coming back to the center. Widening the stance, tapping the inner thigh and then up at the hip. Continuing on. Working our way to the lateral aspect of the legs. Coming back on up towards the hips. Sliding that left foot a little closer to the right, maintaining that hip width, shoulder width distance. And then coming back on up to the low back, activating that kidney energy. Placing the palms at the low back, circling down the sides and up the spine. Resting the palms at the low back, closing the eyes. Inhaling, guiding the breath and the chi to the low back, allowing it to fill up with energy. Exhaling, allowing the energy to flow to wherever it's needed within the body. Inhaling, guiding the breath and the chi to the low back, allowing the kidneys to fill up with energy. And exhaling, allowing that energy to flow to wherever it's needed within the body. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Letting the mind relax into the breath to relax the body, and the chi to flow freely to wherever it's needed. And when you're ready, gently opening the eyes, letting the arms come back down to the sides, and closing by bringing that left foot back to the right. Okay, so we are working on the Rejuvenation series this morning, 1 through 5. If you can, check your monitors real quick and make sure you're on mute. And we will proceed with the Rejuvenation series and then start Swimming Dragon and then go to our fall seasonal exercises. Okay, let's go ahead and begin with the wave. If you are new to these exercises, don't feel like you have to learn all of them today. As you practice them, they'll become more and more familiar and comfortable for you. But never move into pain. That's the only thing, never move into pain. Okay, the wave. Starting with our preparation, inhaling. Exhaling. In. And out. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. In. And out. Inhaling. Exhaling. Going at your own pace. Allowing the breath to carry you through the movements. Getting ready to close. Closing. I'm doing the modified version first. Inhaling up to the breastbone. Exhaling. Inhaling all the way up. Exhaling. In and out. Inhaling and exhaling. The shaking exercise. Allowing yourself to settle into the space. Closing the eyes. And beginning. And slowing down. Opening the eyes and closing. The traditional closing, inhaling all the way up. Exhaling. In. Out. Inhaling. And exhaling. Our infinity exercise. Inhaling and exhaling. Getting ready to close. Closing. Scoop the moon. Natural breathing. Getting ready to close. Closing. Swimming in Qi, parts 1 through 3. Inhaling and exhaling. In and out. Transitioning, inhaling, exhaling, in, and out. Inhaling, exhaling. Transitioning, making sure there isn't anything directly behind you. I'm going to do the modified version first. Inhaling, exhaling. The traditional version. Switching sides. Moving anything that may be behind you. I'm doing the modification first. Inhaling and exhaling. Getting ready to close. Closing. Bringing the palms together. Keeping the feet together. Transferring some of that wonderful, wonderful chi to the palms. And bringing the palms to the lower dantian. Closing the eyes. Inhaling, guiding the breath and the chi to the lower dantian, allowing it to fill up with energy. Exhaling, allowing that energy to settle and store so that you may use it throughout the rest of your day. Inhaling, guiding the breath and all the chi that you've been cultivating over the past 25 minutes or so into the lower dantian. Exhaling, allowing that chi to settle and store. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Allowing the mind to relax into the breath to relax the body, and the chi to settle and store so that it may be there for you for the rest of the day. Thank you, wonderful Qigongers. If you want to stay, we've got the first part of Swimming Dragon, and then afterwards we're going to be doing the fall seasonal exercises. If you can't stay, I hope we get to see you tomorrow for Social Sunday. All right, so Swimming Dragon, it's another three-parter. The first and the third sets or aspects of the exercise, as I mentioned before, are fairly straightforward. So they won't take too long to learn the mechanics. Obviously, there's more stuff into it than the mechanics, but for the mechanics, they're pretty straightforward. The second part, the reason why we're breaking it up is because the second part is a little more exciting. So that's for next week. So for Swimming Dragon Part 1, we're going to go ahead and do the same preparation. So the arms are sweeping out to the sides. We're glancing up about 60 degrees as we start to come up onto our toes, if that feels okay for you. So on an inhale, and then we're guiding the hands down to the breastbone on an exhale. We're taking an extra inhale, pointing the fingertips down, exhaling down to the lower dantian. Inhaling and exhaling. And since we've got a little extra time today, we're going to go over the opening again with the little tidbits that help make it a little more effective or even more effective. So when we're inhaling, we're tightening the perineum. Not in a super aggressive, crazy way, but more in a more subtle way. And then as we bring the hands together, make sure that the palms are actually touching instead of just the fingertips. Exhaling, we're loosening the perineum. Inhaling, we're tightening. Exhaling, loosening. Inhaling, tightening. And then exhaling, loosening again. All right, so little tidbits. We're Swimming Dragon. Breaking it up into parts. We're going to bring the palms together. The feet stay together. I don't think you can see my feet. Okay. The palms come together, the feet stay together. And the first element is simply taking those hands and pushing them off to the right as you look to the left. I'm going to try to mirror you. So from about underneath the chin at the breastbone area, we're going to turn our heads to the left as the hands push to the right and raise just a little bit. So we're kind of tracking a U formation with the hands. Then we're coming back to the center, and I'll be going over the breath and the rest of the exercise soon. And both the face and the hands meet together in the center. Then the hands are going to push off to the left while the head turns to the right. Coming back to the center, everything meeting theoretically at once. Head turns to the left as the hands push off to the right. Coming back down. Head turning to the right as the hands push off to the left. Back down. Okay, as you can see, those hands are tracking a U pattern somewhat. Since we've got that one down, now we're going to add in the eyes. So, once again, not causing eye strain at all or being overly aggressive, but as the hands come off to the right and the head turns to the left, really activate the eyes, also turning to the left. Coming back to the center. Same idea. As the head turns to the right, the eyes are going to track a little bit further to the right. Not a lot, but a little bit. Coming back down. Good. So they're working, the hands and the head are working in that opposing nature, similar to when we're doing Scoop the Moon. As one arm comes down, the other one comes up. We're really allowing that mutual opposition to happen. Okay, now for the fun part, we're going to get to engage the legs and the hips. So the hips and the knees, I should say. So maybe warm up a little bit. You're going to sink at the knees and stick the hips out first to the right. So sink at the knees and stick the hips out to the right, coming back on up, sink at the knees, stick the hips out to the left, come back up, right? Feels good in the low back, doesn't it? If it doesn't, don't go as far and be more subtle. Okay. Now you do want to bend the knees, you do want to sink at the knees, but if you've got really great Achilles tendons that allow you to, sit all the way down, that's not how far we want to go. It's not quite 90 degrees, going down a little bit higher than that. But you do want the hips to be able to go out as the knees sink. Okay. So in this case, when we're adding in the lower body with the upper body, as the hands push off to the right and the head turns to the left, the hips are also going to the right. And then you come back up. Hands and hips now going to the left while the head goes to the right. Coming back up. Hips and hands. Hips and hands. Hips and hands. Right? Simple. Okay, now we add in the breath. We're inhaling as we sink. Exhaling as we stand up. Inhaling as we sink. Exhaling as we stand up. In and out. In and out. And that's it. So to close, it's the same closing. Remember, that's just part one. But if we were to close, sweeping the arms out to the sides, inhaling, once again, tightening the perineum. If we're doing the modified version with the extra breath, we exhale, release. Inhaling, tightening. Exhaling as we release. Inhaling. Exhaling. In and out. All right, let's do part one 3 times on each side. Preparation. Bringing the hands together. Inhaling. Exhaling. In and out. In and out. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more time each side. Closing. One more little tip. Once you become more comfortable and confident with the movement, you may find that your hips are leading the movement more so than your hands and your upper body. I simply went over the hands and the upper body first so that we could get a feel for the exercise, but really, I think a lot of it is generated from the hips. Okay, so after we do our fall exercises, if you have any questions, please ask. It's now time to switch the set. You want your happy sipping drink like water or tea. I feel like I should make that clear when I'm talking about sipping drinks. Water or tea in this particular case. Okay, so we're sitting, settling into the space. And as is typical for me, I'm gulping instead of sipping. I'm not being very elegant with my tea sipping. Okay. All right, our second set of fall exercises. Sitting in a position that's comfortable for you. Settling into the space. Elongating the spine. Tip of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth. And then bringing the hands into baby fists. Closing the eyes. Inhaling and exhaling at least 3 times. Allowing the mind to sink into the breath. Sinking into the moment. When you're ready, gathering the palms in front of the breastbone. Inhaling as you activate the claws. Exhaling. In. Out. Inhaling. Exhaling. In. And then exhaling as we come back to the center.
Bringing the hands back into baby fists. Gathering. Activating the claws as we inhale. Exhaling. In. Out. Inhaling. Exhaling. In. And out. 2 more times on each side at your own pace. Part 2. We're going to be tapping the back. Men traditionally 36 times, women traditionally 24. I use the L shape of the forefinger and the thumb. And placing the palms one on top of the other, or actually, sorry, the hands one on top of the other with the palms facing up. Traditionally, men place their left hand closest to the lower dantian, so the right hand is on the bottom. Women traditionally place their right hand closest to the lower dantian, so the left hand is on bottom. The thumbs are touching. Pressing the teeth together 36 times if you're traditional and doing the male version, and 24 times if you're being traditional, classical, and doing the female version. Swirling the tongue 9 times clockwise, 9 times counterclockwise. Swishing the saliva in between the teeth 36 times and swallowing in thirds. Closing the eyes. Utilizing the mind intent, the mind's eye. Gathering all the chi that you've been cultivating into the lower dantian. Filling it up with energy. Exhaling, allowing that energy to settle and store so that you may use it throughout the rest of your day.
Thank you so very, very much, wonderful Qigong people and Qigong